Imagine waking up every day, unsure if there will be food on the table, unsure if you'll be able to pay for medicine, unsure if your city is safe. Imagine standing in line for hours, only to leave empty-handed, or hearing news of a neighbor being robbed just blocks away. For millions of Venezuelans, this is not a nightmare, it's reality. From the streets of Caracas to small towns in the Andes, families are forced to make choices no one should ever face. Medicine, or food, rent, or electricity. Today, we're diving deep into why living in Venezuela has become nearly impossible, and why the world is watching this crisis unfold, as ordinary people endure hardships most of us can barely imagine. Venezuela was once one of the wealthiest countries in South America, rich in oil, vibrant cities, and breathtaking landscapes. People traveled freely, enjoyed affordable goods, and celebrated a culture full of music, food, and community. But today, the streets tell a very different story. Inflation has spiraled out of control. Electricity blackouts disrupt daily life. Grocery stores and pharmacies are often empty. Crime is rampant, and corruption touches almost every corner of society. Life has turned into a daily struggle just to survive. And it's not just numbers on a chart. This is about real people, real families, and real dreams being shattered. In this video, we're going to explore the reasons behind Venezuela's collapse, the human cost, and what it really feels like to live there in 2025. Stay with me, because the stories you're about to hear will shock, sadden, and inspire you at the same time. Segment 1, Economic Collapse. Let's start with the economy. Venezuela's currency, the bolivar, has lost nearly all its value. Prices double almost overnight. Imagine going to the store for a loaf of bread and finding that it costs 3 times more than yesterday. Imagine your paycheck losing value before you can even spend it. Families are forced to make impossible choices. Do you buy medicine or food? Do you pay the rent or keep the lights on? People have turned to bartering, using foreign currencies like dollars, or even relying on humanitarian aid to survive. Businesses are closing every day. Shops that once thrived are now boarded up. Jobs that once supported entire families are gone. Even professionals like teachers, doctors, and engineers struggle to make ends meet. The economy is not just bad, it's collapsed, leaving ordinary Venezuelans trapped in a constant, exhausting struggle. Segment 2, Scarcity of Basic Needs. Now, let's talk about everyday life. Grocery stores are often empty. Essential items like rice, milk, beans, and cooking oil are scarce. Medicine is even harder to find. Hospitals often lack supplies, forcing parents to travel long distances just to find treatment for their children. Imagine standing in line for hours, only to be told that the items you need aren't available. Imagine your child needing a simple medication that is nowhere to be found. Families ration every meal, every drop of water, every bit of electricity. Even small joys, like going to the cinema or buying a birthday cake, have become luxuries many cannot afford. The frustration, anxiety, and exhaustion are not just inconveniences. They are breaking families emotionally and physically. People live each day in survival mode, where every decision is a life or death calculation. Segment 3, Power Outages and Infrastructure Issues. Electricity blackouts are common, sometimes lasting days. Water systems are unreliable, roads are crumbling, public transport is limited or unsafe. Imagine trying to work, cook, or even study when the lights go out without warning. For students, parents, workers, and families, life becomes a constant battle against failing infrastructure. Refrigerators spoil food, hospitals can't operate properly, and businesses cannot function efficiently. The government struggles to provide basic services, and the result is a society where daily life is unpredictable, chaotic, and exhausting. Every day becomes a reminder of how fragile daily life has become and how ordinary people are forced to adapt in ways most of us cannot imagine. Segment 4, Crime and Safety. Crime has skyrocketed. Kidnappings, muggings, and violent robberies are tragically common. Many Venezuelans are afraid to leave their homes after dark. Parents constantly worry about the safety of their children. Streets that were once full of life and laughter are now filled with fear and tension. It's heartbreaking to hear stories of people being forced to leave their homes, their communities, and sometimes even their country, just to protect themselves and their families. Even simple activities, like walking to school or going to work, can carry risks. For those who cannot leave, life is a delicate balance of caution and fear. Families develop strategies to survive, avoiding certain neighborhoods, traveling in groups, or sending children to school with extra precautions. Every day is a reminder that safety is no longer guaranteed. Segment 5. Mass migration. Millions of Venezuelans have fled to neighboring countries like Colombia, Brazil, Peru, and even the United States. They leave behind everything they've known: their homes, their communities, their careers, and often the only life they have ever known. The migration crisis is one of the largest in modern history, but it's more than just statistics. It's mothers, fathers, and children seeking safety, security, and hope. Imagine leaving your home, carrying only what you can fit in a bag, unsure if you will ever see your neighbors or friends again. Every story of migration is a story of heartbreak, resilience, and courage. Families sleep in crowded shelters or on the streets. People work multiple low-paying jobs just to survive. Children often miss school, and parents face discrimination or bureaucratic hurdles just to find work in foreign lands. Even when they reach safety, the struggle doesn't end. They face cultural differences, language barriers, and social isolation. The emotional toll is immense. For those who remain in Venezuela, the absence of neighbors, friends, and family members adds to the strain. Communities are fractured, and the sense of solidarity that once existed is shattered. Migration is no longer just a choice, it's a lifeline. And yet, every step taken in search of safety comes with uncertainty, risk, and sacrifice. This is the reality for millions of Venezuelans who simply want to live with dignity. Segment 6. Emotional toll. Living under constant stress, fear, and uncertainty takes a heavy emotional toll. Anxiety, depression, and hopelessness are common. People talk about feeling trapped, the fear of not being able to protect their loved ones, and the frustration of watching their country fall apart. Venezuelans are resilient, but resilience doesn't erase exhaustion, heartbreak, or loss. Every day is a test of endurance. Every small victory, like finding food, paying a bill, or keeping the family safe, is a reason to celebrate. The emotional weight is compounded by witnessing the loss of friends and neighbors who leave the country or are victims of crime. Families mourn silently, children grow up faster than they should, and many adults experience the constant fear that they cannot provide a safe future. Even simple joys like celebrating a birthday, going to a movie, or visiting a park are overshadowed by worry. People live in a constant state of mental and emotional vigilance. It's a heavy burden, and yet, despite everything, Venezuelans continue to persevere. Their strength, determination, and hope for a better future are inspiring in the truest sense of the word. Segment 7. Impact on children and education. The crisis in Venezuela has profoundly affected children and education. Schools often lack basic supplies, textbooks, chairs, electricity, and even water. Many children cannot attend school regularly because families need them to help with chores, earn money, or travel long distances to find food and water. Children face malnutrition, which affects their physical and mental development. The uncertainty and fear in their daily lives lead to emotional trauma that can last a lifetime. Many grow up feeling hopeless, learning at a very young age that survival often comes before dreams. Education, which should be a beacon of opportunity, is now a struggle. Teachers are underpaid, schools are underfunded, and students are left without guidance or support. Yet, amid all these challenges, there are stories of hope. Children who walk miles to attend classes, teachers who stay late to help struggling students, and communities that try to keep the spirit of learning alive. Segment 8. The future and hope. Despite all the hardships, hope is still alive in Venezuela. People find ways to adapt, to survive, and to help one another. Community kitchens, local charities, and international aid organizations provide lifelines for those in desperate need. Families find creative ways to make ends meet, from growing small gardens to starting micro-businesses in their neighborhoods. Many Venezuelans are working tirelessly, even in the toughest conditions, to rebuild their lives and create a future for their children. They dream of a day when they can walk freely in safe streets, when groceries are stocked, and when children can go to school without fear or hunger. The road ahead is long, and the challenges are immense, but the resilience, courage, and determination of the Venezuelan people shine through. It's a reminder that even in the darkest times, humanity can endure. And for the rest of the world, it's a call to awareness and action, to understand, to empathize, and to support those who have been forced into unimaginable circumstances. So, why has living in Venezuela become impossible? It's a combination of economic collapse, scarcity of essentials, failing infrastructure, rising crime, the emotional toll of constant uncertainty, and the challenges faced by children and families. This is not just a story of a country in crisis. It's a story of real people surviving against all odds. Ordinary men, women, and children showing courage and resilience that is nothing short of heroic. If you ever think life is hard where you are, remember the courage of Venezuelans who wake up every day to face unimaginable challenges. They remind us that hope and perseverance can survive even in the darkest times. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about the human side of global crises and let the world hear these voices. Because behind every statistic, every news headline, every shocking news clip, there are real people, real struggles, and real lives at stake. And these stories deserve to be told, remembered, and understood